You are 62 years old. You have about $1.5 million sitting in your 401k account, money you worked hard for over the last 30 to 35 years. But today, your knees hurt when you walk, and your back doesn't support you like it used to. Even if you want to, you can't go hiking in the mountains or travel to new countries anymore. Even playing with your grandkids for a few minutes leaves you completely exhausted. This right here is the biggest regret for so many people in retirement. The money is finally there, but your body just can't keep up anymore. Now think about someone else. Her name is Linda. Linda doesn't have $1.5 million in her account. She has about $800,000. Yet, at just 56 years old, she quit her job and is enjoying life on her own terms. She's out hiking, exploring brand new places, and spending her time exactly how she wants to. The question is, how is one person still waiting with double the money, while the other retired early with way less? The answer is hidden in a little-known IRS rule called the Rule of 55. Most people think if you pull money from a 401k before age 59 and a half, you automatically get hit with a 10% penalty. But if you meet certain conditions, there is a totally legal loophole that lets you withdraw that money starting at age 55, completely penalty-free. In today's video, we'll break down the Rule of 55 in plain English, show you how it works, and warn you about the costly mistakes, and explain exactly how this can completely change your retirement plan. To make it super easy to understand, I've divided this video into 3 parts. In part 1, we will look at what the Rule of 55 actually is, who it's for, and its most important rules. In part 2, we will cover how proper planning can help you get the absolute most out of this rule, and why ages 55 to 65 can literally be the most valuable years of your life. And finally, in part 3, we will talk about the crucial planning you need to do for health insurance, taxes, and income before you hit 65. If your goal isn't just to hoard money, but to actually enjoy it while you're still healthy, then make sure you watch this video until the very end. Let's get started. From Mike and Linda's story, one thing is clear. Retirement isn't just about how much money you save. It's equally about exactly when you can actually access that money. Since we were kids, we've all been sold the exact same narrative. Work hard, save your money, and safely retire when you hit 65. But real life rarely follows that perfect schedule. For a lot of people, ages 55 to 65 are the most active years of their lives. You still have your health, your energy, and the drive to travel. So the question is, if there's a way to use your hard-earned money during those peak years, why wait? This is exactly where that little-known IRS rule comes in, the Rule of 55. Normally, if you pull money from a 401k or 403b before age 59 and a half, you get slapped with a 10% early withdrawal penalty. And that's on top of your regular income taxes. But if you meet some specific criteria, the Rule of 55 completely wipes out that 10% penalty. But here is a very important warning. It sounds simple, but there are strict rules, and messing them up can cost you big time. Let's walk through these 5 fine prints one by one. Rule number 1, the calendar year rule. The first thing you have to understand is how the calendar year works. The IRS says you must leave your job in the year you turn 55. The cool part is, you don't actually have to wait until your exact birthday to quit. Let's say your birthday is December 31st, but you leave your job in January of that same year. Because you turn 55 in that calendar year, you still qualify for this rule. But if you leave your job at age 54, the year before you turn 55, you completely lose this benefit, even when you do turn 55 the next year. So the exact calendar year you leave your job is absolutely critical. Rule number 2, separation from service. A lot of folks think this rule only applies to a normal, planned retirement. That's actually not true. Whether you quit, retire, or your company lays you off, in all of these cases, as long as you officially separate from your employer, this rule can apply to you. Rule number 3, it only applies to your current 401k. This is where people make the biggest mistake. The rule of 55 only works for the 401k plan tied to the employer that you just separated from at age 55 or older. It does absolutely nothing for the old 401ks sitting at your past jobs. But don't worry, we're going to show you exactly how to fix that in the next section. Rule number 4, do not rush to roll over to an IRA. A lot of people quit their job and immediately roll their entire 401k into an IRA. But if you plan on using the rule of 55, hit the brakes. Because this exception strictly applies to employer-sponsored 401k or 403b plans, the minute that money hits an IRA, your penalty-free access might be gone forever. Rule number 5, what does your specific plan allow? Finally, there is one last thing you absolutely must check. The IRS might allow early withdrawals, but your employer's 401k plan writes its own rules. Some plans allow you to take out flexible, partial withdrawals, while others force you to take out the entire lump sum at once. And if you're forced to take a massive lump sum, your tax bill for that year will skyrocket. So before relying on the Rule of 55, knowing the IRS laws isn't enough. You must read your employer's specific plan document carefully. Here, we'll see exactly how you can unlock a lifetime of savings penalty-free at a young age, just like Linda, and uncover the deep psychological and economic reasons behind it. The professional secret to legally accessing all your money without a penalty is what we call the umbrella strategy. Let's say you only have $200,000 in your current or most recent job's 401k, but you have another $600,000 sitting in 3 old 401k accounts from previous jobs. If you leave your current job at 55, the IRS rule says you can only pull from that current $200,000 penalty-free. If you touch that other $600,000, you're getting hit with a 10% penalty. This is exactly where this brilliant strategy comes into play. Before you leave your job, roll all your old 401k funds directly into your current employer's 401k plan. By doing this, your entire nest egg moves under the Rule of 55 umbrella, giving you penalty-free access to all of it if you meet the conditions. This single move can literally save you thousands of dollars in penalties. Now, you might be asking yourself, why go through all this math just to retire at 55 instead of 65? There are 3 extremely powerful and data-backed reasons for this. First, the retirement spending smile. Real data shows that retirement spending is not a straight line. It actually curves like a U or a smile. The first phase is the go-go years, typically ages 55 to 65. During this time, you have the energy, the desire to travel, and the drive to try new things. That's exactly why spending is usually at its absolute highest during this stage of life. The second phase is the slow-go years, ages 65 to 75. At this age, people naturally slow down, prefer to stay closer to home, and travel expenses drop significantly. And the final phase is the no-go years, ages 75 and up. When your body just can't do it anymore, your fun spending drops to zero. But massive medical bills make your overall spending spike back up. If you waste your absolute best go-go years sitting at an office desk, you might hit 65 with $1,000,000, but you'll be spending it on a wheelchair instead of having fun. Second, the 50% hard reality check. Official U.S. statistics, like the EBRI report, show that while nearly 50% of Americans perfectly plan to work until 65 or 67 in the real world, they are forced into retirement much earlier. A sudden health issue for you or your spouse, or unexpected corporate layoffs are the biggest culprits. So before life or bad luck forces your hand, retiring early on your own terms is true foresight. And third, the tax sweet spot. The window between ages 55 and 65 is an absolute goldmine for tax planning. Because when you leave your full-time job, your regular income drops significantly. This allows you to take advantage of lower tax brackets to convert some of your pre-tax 401k money into a Roth IRA. This is called a Roth conversion. In many cases, with a lower income, you might even qualify for a 0% long-term capital gains tax rate. Now we have to get to the absolute most important part of this video. But before we do that, I have a quick question for you. What state in the US or what country in the world are you watching this video from right now? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. Take just a second and drop a comment right now. I'll read through your comments, and I'll feature some of the best ones in my next video. The absolute rule in America is, until you reach the exact age of 65, you are not eligible for government health insurance, which means no Medicare coverage for you. Now think about this. You proudly quit your job at 55, just like Linda did. But for that massive 10-year gap in between, who is going to take care of your body? Going even a single day without health insurance in America means one regular medical emergency can bankrupt you and wipe out a lifetime of savings. So what is the practical solution here? You have to play it smart and use the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare. You will need to buy private insurance from the Obamacare marketplace. We all know private insurance in America is brutally expensive, with premiums easily hitting $1,000 to $1,500 a month or more. But right here is a massive tax magic trick that the average person has no idea about. Because you retired at 55 and no longer have a direct W-2 salary or a massive income, your adjusted gross income on the Obamacare marketplace will look significantly lower. And under U.S. law, the lower your income looks on paper, the larger the premium subsidies or tax credits the government will hand you. By leveraging these subsidies, you could get a premium $1,500 a month health insurance plan for just $50 to $100, or in some cases, completely free. If you can safely bridge this healthcare gap using these subsidies, then your path to early retirement is absolutely clear and totally bulletproof. If you only remember one thing from today's video, make sure you absolutely do these 3 things. Action. Step 1. Call your HR department or your 401k plan administrator. Ask them specifically if their plan allows flexible, partial withdrawals under the Rule of 55, or if they force a lump sum payout. You absolutely need to know this information ahead of time. Action. Step 2. Build a brutally realistic budget for your years between 55 and 65. Don't just look at daily expenses. Factor in health insurance, medical costs, and big-ticket items separately. Action Step 3. Do not make massive life decisions just by watching the internet or YouTube. Sit down with a certified fiduciary financial advisor or a tax professional to map out a plan based on your specific situation. So many of us think there's no possible way to retire until we hit 65. But the reality is, there are golden opportunities hidden right inside the rules. Knowing these loopholes ahead of time gives you the power to make radically better choices for your future. Now, I want to hear your thoughts. If you had the choice, at what age would you want to retire? 55, 60, or 65? Let me know down in the comments. If you actually got value out of this video, please drop a like and share this with someone who is currently planning for retirement, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more data-driven videos like this. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and start building a plan for your future today.